All right, guys, it's the weekly overview for our first week in October. We are continuing that bench press cycle where we're going to be going 4x5, and then we'll do a fifth set, which will be max reps. We're going to be looking at doing this at 3 seconds down, 1 second pause, and then drive up. On our initial sets, we're really looking at being 2 to 3 reps from failure, all right, because that makes that last set really hard. And then based on what you're going to get this week, so we're going to record that last set, will allow us to know if we're going to go up next week or how much we're going to go up and how we're going to adjust week to week. So make sure you're recording that. After that, we have 9-minute AMRAP, 11 dumbbell bench press, and then the 7 overhead squats. Again, really trying to just get that movement in and try to dial it in right as we're coming around to hitting the monster mash. So really that's what we're doing. That's the exposure that we're getting to this overhead squat. Really looking at this as being something that should be done unbroken, but really think about just moving smooth, not really being in a big hurry on the transitions. Focus on your range of motion on your overhead squats and adjust the weight accordingly. Tuesday, 3 rounds for time. We have 40 and 32 cal C2 bike, and then we have 30 sandbag squats. You can hold that in the shoulder with the other arm free, and then 20 burpees just jumping a clap. This is going to be very grindy. All right, when we look at this, guys, anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes is what we're going to be looking for. Coming out on the bike, pushing something that, can be repeatable, kind of looking at this, especially from the week prior. Look at like how hard you push for those 30 and 20 cals and probably be somewhere around there as far as your cal per hour. On the squats, really just trying to focus on full depth and then just break it as needed. Doing that in 3 to 4 sets around is no big deal, and then staying steady on the burpees. After that, we're going to be doing some reverse sled pulls. So we're going to take really hard weight. We're just going to walk backwards for 100 feet both directions, so it's down and back on the turf. And then you have banded pull-throughs and then some candlesticks, okay, and just focusing on pushing up to the hollow position and then coming down nice and slow. If 12 to 15, you're not really feeling that in the lower abdominals, keep pushing and go with bigger sets, which will allow you to get there and to actually train your full abdominal from the top all the way to the bottom. It's a great exercise, especially if you push hollow and then you come down nice and controlled. All right, Wednesday, we might have a little core fatigue from the day before, but we are going to push into our gymnastic volume building. We have unbroken sets of 2 to 6 reps. Okay, you can pick anything that you want to do. If you can do a jumping pull-up negative, coming down nice and slow. If you're really working on strength, you could do a strict pull-up. You could do kipping, butterfly, chest to bars, or bar muscle-ups. Really, again, trying to focus on starting with the highest skill. And then as you kind of, if it starts breaking down, just changing up and moving to a different movement. This is a great time to use the clock. So if you jump up, hit a set, and then you're going on the 15 to 20 seconds or maybe even 30 seconds. But again, it should just be repeatable sets, high-quality sets is what we're looking for. After that, we have a CrossFit main site workout, which is 40 box jump overs, 20 handstand push-ups, just descending reps going on the way down. All right. Looking at this being a jump up and step down on the box jump and then the handstand push-ups, okay? Now, we look at the overall volume of the handstand push-up today being 50. Not a ton of volume, but it can be for some people, so it wouldn't be bad if you have handstand push-ups, maybe going 15, 12, 8, 4, or something like that. Some sort of descending rep pattern, all right? But being able to do handstand push-ups, that 20 and maybe 4 sets, 5 sets, that's going to be fine, but trying to maintain that consistency moving through. Are looking at this being somewhere around 11 minutes. It could be a little longer, but just kind of keeping that in mind. If you're jumping up, stepping down nice and steady, then that's what we're going to push. And then just pushing some more handstand push-up volume in the workouts as we've slowly built that skill and then really now transitioning into using that skill. Not going to have much of a fatigue pairing here today, so you will be a little bit tired from the initial pull-up session, but overall, the press should feel good here, really working on the kips as best you can. If you're really strong, you could always go strict today. All right, Thursday, we're kind of looking at this potentially being a tester that we just run throughout the year. We're looking at this being on the 9 minutes, you're going to complete each of these. So you do one, and then you rest to the 9, and then you do the other. And it's going to be 100 cal or 80 cal, ski, and then bike, and then row. And you're going to record each of these separately. All right, again, just trying to really think about pushing pretty hard. This is going to take anywhere from 4 to 5, maybe 5.5 minutes. Okay, so you should get roughly a 1-to-1 rest is what we're going to look for. Some of you guys might be able to hammer this out even closer to like a 3.5 minute, which would be really good on these. But you'll kind of see, like, depending on which one it is, where you kind of fall. It would be nice to have each of these be fairly similar, but you'll always have something that you're a little stronger at, but it'll kind of show you which one you're weak at. And depending on which one you start with, if you guys are going to be changing this up, you could always start with the one that you think you're going to be the weakest at. Let's kind of always put the ski first, but then move in and then finish with your strongest one. Literally, that pairing that is out there right now would probably be my best pairing, and it might be for you guys too, but maybe that row and bike might be able to be switched. But if you have the time to kind of hit each of these things and starting with the one that you think you're not going to do the best at, and then just progressing to your strong point, should allow you to recover and allow you to push good paces for each of these. After that, we have 15 minutes to establish a max sled push. We've never done this, but I think this could be a good test as well. The whole rule of this is that you have to keep the push moving the entire time. It could be moving very slow, but you're going to be just pair up, have fun, cheer people on, add weight, and see some big weight pushed on the sleds. And it just needs to move consistently for that full 50 feet. It shouldn't take longer than a minute for the push. If it takes any longer than that, then you're really grinding it out, and that's probably your last set. But again, we just want to do something a little fun, a little different, and just have a little fun challenge to end the day. All right, hitting higher on the intensity scale here on the power cleans. We're looking at 80 to 90% for just one for 10 reps. All right, again, we've been building on this consistently with the touch and goes, and now it's just about producing power and just really hitting some hard volume at that 80 to 90%. Even if you started at 80 just because you're like, hey, I want to warm up, and then finished at 90, I think that's totally fine. Or just staying with straight sets today is cool, but that's what we're going to be looking at doing. We're not building to a max. That's going to come up later. So just keep that in mind, guys. We're just trying to get some higher volume or higher intensity volume in today. So that's what we're going to be looking to do with those singles. Get set, pull hard, be clean, be crisp. Each of these should feel really good. All right. After that, for time, 400-meter run, and then we're going into 30 hang power cleans at 70%. Okay, and then rolling into another 400-meter run. Okay, that is fairly heavy. So I would even put realistically, this might even be closer to 65 to 70. If you're super strong, I would say let's cap this, cap at 205, 145 would probably be a cap weight for this. Again, this should be kind of grindy as far as when you get there with that run, but you should be able to move that in sets of 4 to 5 to get to 30. Okay, looking at roughly a 9 to 10 minute cap on that, so just keep that in mind. And then we're going to be going RDLs and then hanging knee raises. Okay, with those just nice, slow, and controlled. Saturday, continuing what we've been doing with the team Hero WOD. Today, we're just only offering team just based on the amount of volume we've hit. It's going to be 100 air squats, and you have 5 muscle ups, and you guys can read that. But we're looking at splitting those muscle ups between the athletes. It's roughly 25. It is roughly 25 a piece if you split it exactly, and then you're going to be doing those air squats as synchronized. But our option for that scale, or that modified option, you're going to actually split all of the reps up, including the air squats. So keep that in mind. That's how we're going to do it and attack this and have fun. Okay, guys, we're well into this block. We've only got one more month. Okay, so we're going to finish strong, and then we're going to change things up. We'll have a solid build leading into the winter and the new year. All right, guys, we'll see you in the gym.